So I came into some luck with ending up with a piece of plexiglass that is 6 feet by 4 feet. This particular piece, I'm going to get a backing for it. I'm going to find some clips and get some proper clips for it. I happen to have a bus shelter that is 4 foot by 6 foot, and it is of Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. It's a beautiful, huge bus shelter, and I want to put it in the corridor here. It's the best place for it in the apartment. So with this piece of plexi, it's allowing me to figure out the distance where I want it to be and how I need to space my other 2 posters around it. I have this very rare opportunity in this new space to display one of the posters I've been really wanting to display for a very long time. Back about 20 years ago, I ended up by getting the Star Wars Attack of the Clones banner when I worked at the theaters. It is actually it's a bus shelter. It is 4 feet wide, 6 feet tall, and I ended up by getting some work last week, which allowed me to get a piece of plexiglass that was the right size to make an actual frame out of. So I ended up by picking up a piece of wood, putting a frame on the back, and putting some eye hooks on it. I'm going to string it up today, and then I'm actually going to put this huge bus shelter onto this, mount it, and hang it up on the wall. And it is incredibly, incredibly ideal that this very day that I'm putting this banner up from Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones happens to be on the day of the 20th anniversary of Star Wars Attack of the Clones. Just very weird coincidences falling into place there. Either way, I'm going to put up and string up some cable on the back of this, allow myself to make the hook mechanism, and then I'm going to put this thing together. Ended up picking up some picture frame wire for this. Now this is a very heavy piece of items, so it's like I want to make sure I've got the strongest materials I can find to lock it up and put it up in there, put it up on the wall. Otherwise I don't want it to risk coming down sometime by accident. And it's actually, the wood's a little heavy, but it's the plexiglass that's even heavier. And I ended up getting some 1/8" plexiglass. Again, it's came off of a film shoot that is no longer needed. It was a 4 foot by 6 foot piece, which is the ideal size for a bus shelter banner. So it's big enough. Putting it about there. That's cool. All right. I'm going to very carefully put this on the table. Okay. So here comes the fun part. So this is my banner. Make sure I've got the top in the right place. Yes, it is. Okay. And let me see. I'm going to need that piece of plexi. So the plexiglass comes with a bit of film on both sides. I'm going to peel off the back half of the film. Don't use that. Now this is the trick. I need to be able to hold this thing in place while I put this on. And what I think I'm going to do is, I've got little tiny clips. I picked up little white clips. The frame is white around the side. Actually it's black. I might actually change them over for black ones. But the little tiny clips I'm going to use, and then take off the actual hook part. That way they stay locked in at the end of the banner. For now I'm going to use them just to lock the poster in place so I can unroll it. It's been rolled up for 20 years and I very rarely have pulled it out, so it takes a bit of time to re-stretch it out, let it sit in place, but this will help it. So the wood is an 1/8 of an inch thick, the plexiglass is an 1/8 of an inch thick, which makes it about 1/4 inch overall. So when I open up these guys and tighten them and hook them in, they're going to make about 1/4 inch thickness, which is going to clamp both of them together, and with enough hooks around it, I'm hoping that it will not be too distracting to hold the frame, poster frame in place. This one will start here. I think I'm going to move this plexiglass out of the way to get this. Really careful. I don't want to risk ripping this after having it for so long. The other side. It is a poster of such beauty. So again, these are just temporarily holding it so I can lay this on top. I'll be very, very careful. Okay, I'm going to peel off the top layer. And I'm going to start from the corner, hook these over in the right places. And I just want to put my remaining hooks on the side. Right now I'm using 16 of these to clamp it around the sides. I'm going to come back in and measure them evenly. Since they're going to stay there to hold this in place, I want to make sure it looks nice and even and in the right place. So now I'm just getting them in. Then I'll line it all up. So I'm removing all the little silver parts of the pins, that way it stays locked in place. And then just remove the last bit of this plastic shielding. That is a beauty piece of work. Drew Struzan piece of work. Absolutely love his poster art. Did all the Star Wars posters, all the main ones at least. Now I'm going to put some plugs in the wall so I can hook up this wall and put it in place. So I've measured up from the wall where I believe is the right height for my cable to sit. Let's hope that I don't have to adjust it, because it will become problematic if I do, especially since I have to put such large holes in the wall. And I'm putting down, because it's so heavy, putting these little guys in first. They're much stronger. Putting these guys in first, they're much stronger to hold into the wall for something this heavy. And then you put a screw in the end of it sticking out, and that's what the hook hooks onto. So now the moment of truth to see if this thing hooks on all right and is in level. voila, here it is. I got it up. The Attack of the Clones poster. And look at the size of this beauty. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. That's pretty awesome. Everything seems to be holding in place. The hooks are good on the wall. And yeah, and there you have it. Star Wars Attack of the Clones, the bus shelter, 4 foot by 6 foot. I managed to put it up this day on the day of the 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones. It's the first time I've had the chance to really put this up in a space with enough wall space to do this. I've got a lot more work to do around the apartment, but this one I'm really, really happy with. It's such a beautiful piece. Such a great piece of work. Anyway, until next time, thank you.